I accidentally lost 1 kilogram, that's 2.2 pounds in old money, and all I did was chase a puppy. This video isn't about weight loss strategies or gym workouts, it's about something called NEAT, and that might just be the missing piece in your midlife health puzzle. But first, if we've not met, hi, I'm Ruth, I'm a health coach and dog owner. I make videos about healthy habits for over 50s women, and if you're returning, thank you. Now, those of you who follow my community posts, well, you'll have seen and heard me talk about Jerry, our new dog. Now, my husband and I, we love dogs. We lost our last dog, Lola, last December during emergency cancer surgery, and we were heartbroken. We still miss her every day. And we also lost our oldest cat, Minz, back in May, leaving us with just Ted, the enormous white oaf of a cat. We do love him, really. But we thought it was time to welcome another dog into our hearts, and along came Jerry, the miniature poodle. Now, he arrived home with us on Saturday, and I have not stopped since. Now, I rarely weigh myself because I prefer to focus on how I feel, and my weight is also pretty stable at 66 kilograms. So out of interest, and because I'd checked a week ago, I stepped on the scales on Saturday, and to my surprise, I was down at 64.9 kilograms. So I'd lost 1 kilogram in a week, and I checked several times, and yes, it was real. Now, this wasn't intentional, so what's going on? Now, if we take the widely used statistic that you need a calorie deficit of 500 to 700 calories a day to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, and we assume I was at the top end of that because 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, that's 700 less calories a day, and that's quite a lot. Now, we know from the research that it's really difficult to lose weight through exercise alone. You've normally got to change what you're eating. So did I? Well, yes, I have been eating a little bit less because I've been pushed for time. Now, I've been sticking to my 3 good meals a day, but I haven't always had chance to have an afternoon snack, and I often do because I often find myself getting a bit peckish by mid-afternoon. So this week I've hardly had any snacks, but was that 700 calories a day? Well, no. So could I have forgotten anything? Well, probably not, because I'm doing an MSc in clinical nutrition at the moment, so I'm pretty intentional about what I eat and the nutritional makeup of the food I eat. So what else has changed? Well, I've been moving a lot more. And here's the thing, movement is not just about exercise. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's a little bit of a mouthful, so let's break it down. So non-exercise activity is all the stuff we do in a day that isn't a formal workout. So wandering around the house, doing the dishes, loading the tumble dryer, fidgeting, or me gesticulating as I talk with my hands, that's all NEAT. Now, thermogenesis, that means producing heat, which is just another way of saying burning energy. So NEAT is the energy we burn every day just from getting on with life. And it plays a crucial role in our energy balance, and it can significantly impact our health. And the beauty of NEAT is it's happening all day long. Well, it should. Historically, humans moved throughout the day. We tended to have active lives. We walked where we wanted to go, and we were more likely to have manual jobs. Today, with desk jobs and digital entertainment, we simply move a lot less. And this affects our body's balance between storing energy and using energy. And one of the biggest reasons we gain weight in midlife is because our overall activity level drops. Research shows our basal metabolic rate, that's the energy we just use keeping ourselves alive, that's pretty stable till about the mid-60s. So if people tell you your metabolism drops with menopause, well, it's not really the case because the data doesn't lie. But we do tend to move less, and it's not just exercise, it's everything else as well. And it can be gradual, so we don't necessarily notice. So I'd suggest it's worth taking the time to think about your daily activity and whether it's changed over the last few years. Now, research shows that sitting and inactivity, well, it's harmful to our health and it increases the risk of heart disease. So let's just do a quick bit of science and look at how NEAT affects our metabolism. Firstly, let's look at blood sugar. Now, when we eat, this rises, and when we're active, we take it out of the blood because the muscles use it for fuel. Now, one meta-analysis, so that's a study combining the results of lots of other studies, found that this drawing of the glucose out of the blood, well, it's more efficient if we take lots of little breaks throughout the day rather than one big break. So getting up and moving around every hour is more beneficial than taking a single longer break at lunchtime. And secondly, blood fats. So when we eat a meal containing fat, we get a rise in our blood triglycerides. Now, these are the tiny molecules that carry fat around the body to be stored. And triglycerides are removed from the blood and taken into our cells by an enzyme. It's called lipoprotein lipase. And we have this enzyme in our muscle cells, and its activity is suppressed when we sit still. But the light muscle contractions we get from NEAT, well, they're enough to keep it working. So to wrap up the science, NEAT is good for our health because it helps us to process blood fats and blood sugars more efficiently. And if you're finding this video useful, you might be interested to know I'm just putting together my first ever group coaching program. It's going to be running for 8 weeks in October. It's designed to support women over 50 to reset their health in a way that works with and not against their body and help them build a blueprint for healthy aging. I've given a pretty hefty discount because it's the first time I've run it, and I will be getting feedback from participants to help me shape and improve the program. So if you're interested and would like to help me build something pretty cool, I'll put the link below. There's only 10 places, 8 at the time of filming, and if they've all gone by the time this video comes out, I'll put people on a waiting list for the next time I run it. Now back to Jerry. I've been able to do a few short walks with him in his puppy sling, but really I've not been getting out the house that much because he's still not fully vaccinated. In the house though, it's another matter entirely. So we've been trying to get him comfortable spending time in a crate and a pen. Now from my reading, modern dog training has moved on from simply shutting them in a crate and letting them cry it out. So we've been taking things really slow. He's now comfortable spending time in each for short amounts of time, and we're going to continue training him, but the process itself has been really difficult and pretty exhausting because I have to watch him all the time like a hawk to make sure he's not getting himself into trouble. And that's a full-time job, so it means I'm on my feet a lot. And as a quick side note, I had a really helpful online session with a lovely lady called Lindsay. Her business is called Landing on Your Paws, and she taught me through some crate training techniques. She's got some really useful free resources for new puppy owners. That's Jerry whining slightly in his sleep, and I'll put the link below. Now back to activity, and there's also the toilet training. Now our back garden, we've got a patio at the level of the doors, but the small amount of grass where he prefers to do his business, that's up a small flight of steps, and his legs just aren't big enough to get up them. So I've been up and down those steps all through the day and indeed the night carrying a small dog. And he's doing really well. He's now going to the back door if he wants to be let out to go and do his business. He's a smart boy with an exhausted new mum. I'm pretty physically fit, but the near constant being on my feet and the sleep deprivation from having to be on pee patrol overnight has been exhausting. And that's sharing some of the workload with my husband, although I've taken the lion's share because I'm the one who works from home, which is fair enough. But for us, the work is worth it for a happy, calm and confident dog. And the process of eating a little less but moving a lot more seems to have had an effect on my body, as evidenced by the small but genuine weight loss. And that's why I'm sharing this story, because it's a really good example of the importance of daily movement. So how can you nail your NEAT? Well, by building more movement into your daily life, and here's some tips. At home, stand or walk while talking on the phone. Take regular short breaks from the TV or desk if you work from home. Household chores like vacuuming, sweeping or organising, or play with pets or children. At work, opt for a standing desk or take standing breaks. Walk to a colleague's desk instead of sending an email. Use a pedometer or activity tracker to encourage more steps. Hold walking meetings and take the stairs instead of the lift. During leisure time, choose active hobbies like gardening, hiking or dancing. Park further away from entrances. Go shopping in person rather than online, or go for a walk in the park or countryside. But the first step is awareness, and I hope this video has helped with that through my role as full-time servant to a small furry dog. And if you do nail your NEAT and you want to think about starting or restarting an exercise plan, I'll leave a video here which can help, and I'll see you there.